Welcome back to part 3 of the Cedar Cove Coaster Competition Showcase. In this competition I asked everyone to create a coaster for my new park, Cedar Cove. With a set boundary, piece limit and select list of coasters you could choose from, the creativity so far that we've seen has been amazing. Make sure if you haven't already to watch Showcase 1 and 2 so you're caught up with all the entries, and like I said last time, the competition voting form will open at the end of Showcase 4. Let's get into it. Just want to say a really big thank you to Mr. Antonio for helping me record the showcases, and who was also the incredible creator behind Cedar Cove's first coaster. The first entry of Showcase 3 we have Overgrown, which is an intimate multi-dimensional coaster with a botanical theme, and I love the look of this. The styling is absolutely beautiful. I love the track colour as well. You've got loads of really cool elements and some nice music that you just heard as well. Loads of cool trick track elements in this as well. I love the station. The whole kind of general vibe of the area is just really happy and nice. Love the coaster train there as well with the flowers on the front of it. All the just like buildings and like custom support work to make it look like trees, and yeah, all the planting and everything just makes it feel like really well blended into its surroundings. I love the look of it, which is exactly what we wanted with Cedar Cove, a coaster that like nicely like sits in the existing landscaping of the park, and yeah, really furthers that greenery of it too, which looks awesome. I can't wait to ride this. So we're coming out of the station here, a little turn into our first launch. You can see the other train coming back in there as well. That's cool. Nice fast launch for a family coaster there. Going into a turn and then dipping down into our first special track element, the shed, as the sign says there. Nice music blaring out too. Got some nice theming in here as well with all the lanterns and everything. It's very atmospheric. I'm going to launch out backwards. I like all the lights on the roof too. Down a drop, really close to some of that foliage on the ground too. Where are we going now? Is this a second launch? A backwards launch? Oh, it is. Wow. So we go through that like cheetah hunt style canopy structure backwards, which is pretty cool. Turning around there. I like how it looks like a tree is supporting the track as well. Nice custom supporting work. All the little trees on the arms as well. Diving down backwards there. Again, really close to the ground, getting that nice foliage interaction. Lots of nice airtime and transitions on here. And then pulling into our next special element, a turntable. Awesome. And we're going to fly out of here straight into a launch. We're off. Flying now. Nice custom supporting work going on there too. We're going through the supports and through big hedge arches as well. That's really nice. And a couple more nice transitions and into the brake run. Yeah, that was really fun. I like that. Very pretty coaster. Next up we have Pine Pursuit, which is a B&M launch surf coaster, and I love the look of this. Again, some really nice foliage and nature interaction too, and also I've got some really unique elements on here too. The bit that's immediately caught my eye is this hill over the station. The custom supporting on there looks great. I like how it interacts with that like log cabin that you've created there, and some more like really interesting custom supporting mode that's going over pathways and stuff. That's really cool to see. It's nice that I've seen a lot more creators experimenting with custom supporting over this competition, which has been great to see. It adds so much to your coasters. We've got a little sign there, Pine Pursuit. I like how it's on the logs too. It's a very like wilderness wooden theme and vibe around here as well, which is really nice. That's the main station building there. I think that's a little maintenance building at the back. Let's have a look inside. Ooh, a lovely little fireplace, very cozy in here. And you can see the track coming overhead, which is awesome. That was good timing. We come around here, get a really nice view there of the train whizzing around, and then you're up into the station. Let's go for a ride. That's a cracking view from the launch, isn't it? And down we go, launching it into a little airtime bump and a nice turnaround up against that wall of logs. Turning round here, got like a downwards helix going on. Picking up some nice speed. Airtime hill into a really nice transition into that dive loop there. Nice and slow at the top so you get a bit of hang time. Block section and then down into an Immelman. I like the exit profile in there as well. Launching up and over the station there. Speeding back down towards the ground. Nice custom supported airtime hill there as well. Really low to the ground inversion as well, that was nice. And then back through into the brake run, past the maintenance shed and then back up into the station. That was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's got a very pretty ride area, really nice nature integration. It's got some pretty unique elements for a B&M surf coaster as well. It was pretty fun watching all the custom supporting fly pasts as well. I like the interaction with the buildings and like the wilderness theme. Yeah, that was really nice. Good job. Next up we have Project Eclipse, which is another Intamin multi-dimension coaster. I'm glad we're getting quite a few of these. I did think we'd be putting it in this competition that we wouldn't have many of the submissions, since this is like the only family coaster out of the lot, but no, it is great to see we are getting a lot of these, which is nice. This one has a really long, huge, sprawling layout. There's not really much around it in terms of landscaping or like custom supports or anything, but you can see this is like the beginning of a really good sort of long sprawling coaster creation that you can imagine like dipping in and out of foliage and rock work and everything. A couple of buildings around there, and this would be a really awesome coaster. Going into the lift hill here. I do really like this coaster type. When they found out they were adding it into Planet Coaster 2, I was really excited to see how far they'd go with like certain track elements and stuff, like the special elements, but it is really nice to see that this coaster is getting enjoyed by a lot of people, because I know Frontier must have put a lot of work into making these like special elements work. We just had a nice little series of twisting airtime hills there, and we're keeping going with that theme. Got a lot of airtime on this. Little booster launch here, up into a nice tight turn, get some nice forces. A very nicely profiled like switching direction airtime hill. That was very intimate. Some of the transitions on here are nice as well. Got a really long drawn out inversion there. And dipping down under other pieces of track. You can imagine like that helix could be around a structure like a tree or something. That was a very close head chopper. And transitioning around here, you can imagine that section being like over some water or something. Yeah, there's a lot of potential with this coaster. You can really imagine what sort of scenery and landscaping could be put around it to really elevate it. Really interestingly profiled stall there. A little hop up into a nice... Oh, it's like an outer banked turn. That was really weird. I like that. And transitioning around, a couple more snapping turns, nice S-bends. Two more good pops of airtime before you bank around under the lift hill. One final little pop and back into the brakes. Yeah, cool coaster. Next up we have a Gerstlauer launched infinity coaster called Quantum. Look at this. I love the nature integration. I love that kind of underneath top hat and then over the top, well, top hat, sort of like airtime hill that you've got going on there as well. The custom supporting linking them two together looks awesome. And you've got this rest of like sprawling layout with all sorts of like airtime pops and unique inversions. Yeah, all the scenery is beautiful around this ride. And you got this section down here as well, which is kind of like over a flower bed going through the trees. And the track colour is really unique as well. It's sort of giving me like Egyptian colours. Is that the vibe? I don't know if that was what you were going for, but I think it looks awesome. Like I said, the nature integration is really nice. When you're this low in the ride area, it feels like really secluded with all these trees around. And then the station building is up here, but I think we should go for a ride. This looks awesome. Nice outer bank coming out the station there, then leading up into our first launch, which is like an airtime hill launch, which looks pretty cool. We're going into the like inside inverted top hat first, which is awesome. Oh, great interaction with the other train there too, going over at the same time. Coming down into a huge non-inverting loop. That looks awesome. And another outer bank there as we fly around that corner. Got some great speed here, nice overbank turn. Diving down into a little airtime hill pop. You get some really low to the ground elements, really close to the foliage and flowers. And into our second launch, nice airtime bump there as well into the top hat. Slightly off axis as well, which is awesome. Flying down into even more airtime hills. Oh, I like that transition. Then popping up and over. Then this is kind of like the flower bed section towards the end of the ride, which is really nice. Diving through all those trees and foliage. That was a beautiful shot as we're like diving through there. I love that view. And then back into the station. Yeah, very pretty coaster. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The colour scheme is really nice. Got a little maintenance area here too, but I loved all of the foliage and like flower and tree interaction you get. It's a very pretty area, and like the coaster, the way it sits in it is just really nice looking. And that element there where the two coaster cars meet each other going over the two top hats is awesome. Yeah, I really like that. Really strong coaster. Very pretty with its nature integration too. Awesome work. Next up we have an RMC iBox coaster called Ragnarhawk. The creator wrote in the description that this is an RMC conversion of a GCI coaster called Hawk that was partially damaged in a fire. I like when coasters have a cool backstory, and this one looks awesome. Some of the custom supporting work, especially here with all the trussing, looks awesome. I love the colour scheme for this ride as well. It really pops. It's like very strong. And the whole area around it is very pretty as well, with that little lake there and all of the landscaping around. It really softens the area with all the like trees and shrubs and foliage, and the actual coaster looks really fun as well. It's got some nice like pops of airtime and some cool transitions, and it looks like it's a really long ride as well, which is awesome. Keeping the speed nicely towards the end there, as we can see, and a really cool inversion there over the pathway. It's sort of like a double zero G roll. Love the look of that. Anytime a creator's putting in the time to do custom supports, and especially like really cool and unique custom supports too, is always very much appreciated. Look at that lift hill structure there as well. That looks really cool. Do not feed the fish. Nice look at the trains there as well. They're very cool. Let's go for a ride. I really like the rock work here as well. Like you've dug into the ground and then put up the rocks for retaining. I really like that nice realism touch. Really fun little pre-lift section as well, sort of like dancing around a little helix there, loads of little pops and bumps and twists. Just approaching the top of the lift hill now. I like the custom view of the Zero car that we've got there as well. Going to be going first into that really cool inversion that's very nicely custom supported. It sort of reminds me of the first inversion that's on Wildcat's Revenge. Is it called a step-up underflip? Is that what it was called? Really nice dive loop there through that awesome structure work. Great overbank turn. The transitions on this are great, flying around. That reminded me of like that double inversion that's on Alpine Fury as well. There's some really nice elements on this, definitely taking a lot of inspiration from a whole host of different coasters, not just RMCs. Some nice pops of airtime there and twists going through the structure. It's a very flowy layout, isn't it? It's like popping from side to side and stuff, and you got this really unique double zero G roll over the pathway there. That was awesome. Very smoothly profiled too. And then a couple more airtime pops and into the brakes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. Really nice variety of elements. It's got a really pretty setting around it as well, and all that truss work really makes it. Awesome job. Next we have an RMC hybrid coaster called Ragnarok, and look at the scale of this thing. It's huge. I'm loving the colour scheme as well, but like what really got me first is just the scale of the coaster. It's a really big ride. Got a huge drop there into a like cool turnaround sections, like a big overbank, and then it's like a really big series of like huge airtime hills and cool transitions, which is nice. It's got a block section there as well for capacity. You can imagine this coaster being like the centre of a really big park and having like big trees and foliage around it and loads of other rides, and you'd just be able to see like the top of the lift hill from everywhere in the park. It'd be pretty crazy. Like just given the scale of it, it's a like really like visually dominant coaster, and you can just imagine it being like the thing everyone is looking at a park, which is so cool. Diving down here into the first drop and picking up a lot of speed. I love the track colour on this as well. I think I mentioned before, but it's a really nice colour. And a nice little overbank there, nice little transition out of it. Flying around to a really cool outer bank inversion there. That was awesome. Huge airtime hill, and then popping through the structure to get a great head chopper. And flying round into another outer bank. Very nice. Double down, little pop of airtime on the way down. Then up through that structure again. Up into the block section. You get some great near misses with the structure on this ride, which is really cool. I like it when wooden coasters and RMCs do that. Going up there into a nice stall, taking it at perfect speed. You get loads of hang time going through there. Great head chopper into an airtime hill again. All the airtime hills look really strong on this. Twisting round, another really nicely profiled airtime hill. Taking this at great speed as well. Very airtimey RMC coaster. A nice turn there through an inversion. Little outer bank sideways stall. Then final turn and then up and into the brake run. Oh, one more turn. Little speed hill there as well. And there we go. Yeah, it was really nice. I enjoyed that. Carries a nice speed through it as well. All of the elements are absolutely huge too. And like I said, the scale of this coaster is just the most impressive thing. It flies round and it has like a really nice range of airtime hills, which is really fun too. Next up we have another Gerstlauer Infinity coaster called Rasselbock. Hope I'm saying that correctly, but I'm loving the custom support work here. You've got these really two huge elements that are very reminiscent of Carnon at Hansa Park. I love that kind of big elevated inversions there. It's a really big feature. This submission was a blueprint, but clearly contained a lot of terrain work before. Everything's on different levels, so I wasn't able to match that, unfortunately, but you can still appreciate the scale of this coaster along with the custom support, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I love all of the foliage as well. Like, the ride looks like it's been here for a while, and it's like really well nestled into its surroundings. I love this first element here as well. You drop out the station, get a nice view of those custom trains, little outer bank, and then up into this huge vertical launch. Look at the size of that. The custom supported on there as well is really nicely done. But yeah, it flies over the top of there and goes into the rest of this really colossal layout. I'm excited to get on here. It looks like it carries some great speed, and obviously flying past all that foliage must look really pretty. Got a nice sign here. Is a Rasselbock an animal? I might have to Google that afterwards. It looks like it is that animal, which is awesome. Nice theme for the ride. Here we are coming out the station, turn it into that really cool off-axis little airtime hill, and then we pull into the bottom of the lift hill to launch up vertically. This looks awesome. The speed and like height. Wow, look at that drop. Flying down just over the queue there, then up into this really cool like feature element, very similar to the one on Carnon at Hansa Park. I love that. Diving down here, then we're getting into the rest of the layout now. Huge airtime hill and lovely profiled overbank there. A couple of nice snapping airtime hills in between all the trees as well. It's very pretty down here. Nice little airtime hills in succession there. Some really nicely profiled S-turns as well. Very close to the structure of that cool unique element we were on earlier. A little bit of a cheetah hunt section there. I love that. Don't know what the name is for that, but I'm calling it the cheetah hunt section. And a couple more twists and pops of airtime up into the... Oh, it's like a brake run before the final brake run. Oh, that's cool. Got a really slow drawn out inversion over the queue there and then back into the station. That was awesome. Yeah, I love that. The scale and the speed of it was great, and the foliage interaction was lovely. Great job. Next up we have Rattlesnake, which is an Arrow Mega Looper coaster, and the creator has said that in real life this would be the sister coaster of the coaster called Viper at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and in the coaster's history it would have gotten pretty rustic theming with like a vampire theme a long time ago. Obviously now it would be part of Cedar Cove, and I love the look of this. That vertical loop as well is exactly how Arrow would have done it. They never really calculated it more for like anything other than like one speed that they did, so whenever they wanted to change like where they positioned a vertical loop as their coasters got bigger, they just raised up the loop so that the forces would be like the same as it went through it at the same speed. Very random, but yeah, that is exactly how they would do it, and the custom support work on this is absolutely beautiful. Got a really nice is it called a bat wing there, which is a really good job on that. I like how the two different inversions are at different heights, again exactly how they will be on an Arrow coaster. Got the very classic double corkscrew there, and then a helix and into the brakes. But yeah, this looks fantastic. It is very, very reminiscent of Viper at Six Flags Magic Mountain too, which is really cool to see. I'm excited to get on this. I'm loving all the classic coasters that we've seen so far. Approaching the top of a very slow lift hill there. Very realistic. Yeah, I'm really glad a lot of people have done some classic Arrow coasters. I knew it might have been a little bit of a risk putting it as one of the coaster choices, but I mean, I'm so glad people have been doing them, because you can get really creative with some of the layouts. Diving down into a beautifully profiled drop there, up into that very tall but very small vertical loop. Exactly the way it would be done. Nice little catwalk there at the exit to the loop as well. Again, very realistic, thinking about that realism really nicely. You've got a ladder going up the side of the support and over the top of the loop too. Really cool attention to details. Up into another block section, and then we go down into that double corkscrew, which is awesome. Yeah, this feels very realistic. Actually, no, we've got the batwing first, haven't we? But yeah, as you saw there, like you would have the first inversion slightly bigger than the second one, so you can make sure that it has enough speed to get through it. I love the sideways trims there as well. Really realistic. Then into that really huge double corkscrew. Taking that at a really nice speed too. I love all the foliage around the area as well. Very nice. It looks very overgrown, like you can tell it's been here for a while. Random bit of straight track and then into the brakes. Yeah, that was awesome. Really realistic, perfectly jank as all Arrow coasters should be. Great job, I really like that. Next up we have Ravenger, which is apparently the tallest, fastest and most inverting RMC iBox coaster, which is really cool. It's taking you on a tour through Tornado Valley, and the storm shelter is not holding up, so you must embark on a new kind of vehicle route out of the storm. Pretty cool backstory for the coaster there. It's really nice the way that you've done that, in it's not really themed, it's like nicely stylized, and I love how overgrown the area looks. Like the coaster's flying around through all these really tall, like mature trees, and the structure of it, like I mentioned with a couple of other RMC coasters in this competition, just looks so intimidating, doesn't it? Like it's absolutely huge. Awesome entrance sign there, and then the actual entrance structure, as you can see behind it, is the storm shelter. I really like the look of that. Just going into the pre-lift section here, which looks really fun. Got a couple of little airtime pops and nice transitions. I like how it goes underneath the structure as well, that's really nice. At the top of the lift hill now, I'm loving the black track as well. I just have a thing with black coasters. I just think they look like really nice and sleek and modern, like they just look incredible. Great head choppers there as well, a little speed hill into a nice, really fast overbank turn. Then launch it up into an absolutely gigantic hill, and you're spiraling down out of that. That was a really nice element. Stepping up here into a really cool, like twisting sideways section. Nice off-axis, like outer bank airtime hill turn thing. There's a lot of unique elements on here. Then leveling out to do another really big drop. You can imagine that drop being like the size of the first drop on some RMC coasters. Beautiful stall there, nice going through the structure. Hopping up into the mid-course section. There we go, and then diving down here through all the tree canopies and stuff. This looks awesome. Loving all the foliage interaction and all the near misses you're getting with the trees too. Really nice 0G roll through the structure there. It's got a lot of elements, this coaster. You weren't kidding about it being like the most inverting. Look at it go. Still holding that speed right through until the end. I think we've still got a fair bit to go actually. Yeah, loads of little ejector airtime hills towards the end, which is nice. Nice couple more turns, and then here we go. Nice little turnaround and up into the brakes. That was awesome. Yeah, huge ride. Love that. The scale was great and the speed and the inversions, fantastic. Next up we have a launched Gerstlauer Infinity coaster called Red Fury. This looks awesome. I really like the look of this, how it's sort of like nicely presented and angled towards this like path and plaza. Like it feels like a very visually pleasing experience, as you can just see it on like the sightline at the back of a park or something. The custom support work looks awesome as well, and the track colour really pops against like the trees behind it in the sky. Great colour choice there, and the aesthetic of it looks really nice. Got a lovely entrance sign here in the plaza as well. I like it when coasters have like a bit of a plaza. It really like gives you opportunity to take some nice photos of the coaster and really turns it into a really good like showpiece. Got an awesome inversion coming out of the station there as it goes into the first launch. Oh, it's like a stall. It's not even a full 360 inversion. That's really cool. And then up into the station here we have our Red Fury custom vehicles. Let's go for a ride. Yeah, so it's sort of like a stall like going down there. That's really unique. Not seen anything like that before. Here we go into our first launch. Really powerful launch there. I like the little misters too. Up into a huge custom supported Immelman there with like stalling out at the top too. This coaster's got a lot of speed to it too. Diving down through a dive loop there. Really smooth. Huge airtime hill. Banking to the side. Got a little booster launch there. Very Voltron-esque. Then coming out into an Immelman and then diving down through that very nicely profiled inversion. Up into another really big airtime pop before banking down, getting some great speed here. I'm loving the custom supports that we're seeing too. Huge airtime hill going through the centre of the ride area. Nice dive loop. Doesn't feel repetitive this as well, there's a lot going on. Nice profiled airtime hill there. Great 0G roll. And then down into a couple of more airtime pops and turns before you hop up into the brake run. Yeah, that was really fun. Got a nice variety of elements there, it's really smooth. Yeah, awesome work, love that. Nice element coming out of the station there as well. Yeah, it's got a nice variety of elements, it's really fast and smooth. Next up we have Revolution, which is an awesome looking classic arrow looping coaster. I love the look of this. Again, the custom support work on these arrow loopers, you've all done an incredible job, and this one looks awesome. I love the custom support work on the loops there too. The whole ride area and like the coaster itself just looks so realistic. Going through the double vertical loops there up into a block section, then a double corkscrew and a helix to finish the ride. But yeah, this is really nice. The realism aspects, you definitely nailed it. I love the look of it. And I like the way it just goes over the path as well. Coaster work that interacts with pathing is always something that I find enjoyment in, and this just looks awesome. And it's really classic looking as well. You've definitely nailed the feel of it being like a very retro and like 70s, 80s style coaster. It looks really nice. Nice custom support work over the path there too. Nice wheelchair accessible lift, which is cool as well. You can tell that's kind of been stuck on the side at a later date, which is exactly what would happen in real life. You've got Revolution sign there as well, which looks awesome. And I just love how the area is like really nicely landscaped and everything. It feels like you could pop it down in pretty much any park. It's like built to be installed anywhere, which is awesome. Got a nice transfer track section there, and then the station building itself is very pretty too. At the top of the very slow lift hill there, I like the custom work you've done on the Zero car too. That looks really nice with the name over the front. Going through our first turn and then into that very straight drop. The profiling on here is very arrow. You've definitely nailed that. Vertical loop number 1 there, and the second one going through those at a great speed. Nice little catwalk at the bottom there in case it valleys too. Then up into that block section, a very janky transition out of it, as Arrow would definitely have done. And then up into those double corkscrews, which look fantastic. Yeah, that looks awesome. Keeping a nice speed there as well. I like how you're going past all that nice foliage, and then you've got the helix around the trees too. You can imagine those trees had probably been planted when the ride opened and have grown up with it, which is awesome. Twisting round underneath the lift hill, and then into the brakes. Yeah, great job. You really nailed the classic Arrow vibe there. Awesome work. Next up we have Ricochet, which looks like an awesome RMC. I love how clean and tidy it all looks. The track colour's beautiful. It sort of reminds me of like Expedition G-Force's colour scheme, which is really nice. It's a very soft colour palette that can like fit into a really nicely landscaped area too. And the different transitions and elements look fantastic as well. You've got this beautiful ride sign here with the really nicely landscaped queue behind it. Got some lockers, and then up to the station building you can see there too, which just looks awesome. I like how I've added the wheelchair lift on the side too, which is always really important, and a beautifully detailed transfer track and maintenance area. This looks awesome. Loving the look of this. Yeah, look at that. Awesome work there. And then we'll come around here to have a look at this beautiful station building, the queue out the front as well. That looks awesome. Really nice and self-contained, and landscaping is beautiful. And then if you have a look inside the station here as well, yeah, this looks really nice. Get a great view out the back of the station too. Look at that. Track everywhere. Let's go for a ride. At the top of the lift hill here, having a look down that drop. It looks huge, doesn't it? Beautifully banked as well. Get the pacing going straight away with a lovely stall there. Great transition coming out of that too. The transitions and profiling are really well done. It's so smooth. Beautifully profiled zero G roll. They're going through it at the perfect speed. Nice snapping turn there. Speeding down back to the ground. Nice little airtime pop before we go into a helix. It's beautifully smooth this, isn't it? Nice downward zero G roll there too. Little outer bank next to the station. Flying round through that structure, down again. Keeping the speed up nicely. Some very nicely profiled elements here in turns. The transitions and the profiling are beautiful, really smooth too. Absolutely flying around up and then into the brakes there. That was really nice. Very professionally done and thought out. Really great job there. I love that. Next up we have another RMC coaster called Ripsaw. This one's got kind of like a timber yards theme. It's really nice in the wilderness. Beautiful landscape and a really unique first drop there. I love the front of the train too. You can hear the music blasting out. We'll see that a bit closer later on. But yeah, really cool first drop there. Diving down through the structure and then out of the bottom of the station building. This looks really unique. Come down here, have a look at that beautiful entrance sign. Look at that. That's awesome. And down here into the queue for the ride, you can see the huge lift hill structure there. It's so high up. And then up into the station, we've got a nice bit of covered over queuing down here as well, which is cool. It says Cedar Cove Lumberyard, really nice. And then up into the station, let's have a quick look at that Zero car. Look at that, that's awesome. Love the look of that. Anyway, let's go for a ride. I'm excited to have a go on this. climbing up the lift hill there, you can see the saw blade spinning very close to my legs. You've got this really unique first drop here. The music is blasting out on this ride, wow. See all the sparks flying everywhere. Hopefully it doesn't set the structure on fire. I like that drop on that airtime hill through the structure, that looked awesome. Nice head chopper with another saw that we'll see later on. I'll try and get a shot of that. Great airtime hills, they're like 3 or 4 in a row, which is awesome. Some really nice transitions down here as well, flying through the layout and then up into the brakes before back into the station. Yeah, that was cool, really punchy. Just have a look at that saw blade here and this train flying past, a lot of lights on the train as well. Quite a short layout, but it's a very punchy layout. Every element hits really hard with all them airtime hills. Sharp drops and cool transitions. Beautiful station building there as well, and I love the Zero car on that. Great coaster, I really enjoyed that one. Next up we have Riptide, which is another B&M surf coaster. Loving the look of this. The creator has asked for it to be showcased at night, but I love the fact that this one has a lift hill instead of a launch. Really unique. I haven't seen any other B&M surf coasters have a lift hill before, which is pretty cool. I like how the loop goes through the lift there as well. You've got some really unique vantage points and like crossovers with the path here. I like how that's just kind of stuck out there. I love that little transition between the overbank turn and corkscrew that we'll see later on as well. Great ride sign there. I love that really high up inversion, let's say, hugging the other one underneath it, which is really nice. Got a bit of a transfer track going on there, really nice element. You get some great hang time at the top of there as well. This feels very realistic and carefully considered when it comes to the banking and profiling. It looks very B&M so far. I'm excited to have a go on this. Just the whole area around this ride is looking awesome. I do like it when creators include like a plaza with the area, but it really makes it so much more that this one interacts with the plaza in so many cool ways, especially with all these water pools as well. It looks awesome. Nice ride sound there. We'll make our way onto the coaster now. Just arriving at the top of the lift hill. The creator's done this with launches as well, which is pretty cool. I like how that's been done. Going down the first drop here. Nice interaction with those trees and near misses all the supports as well. Got that huge vertical loop taking at a really nice speed over the lift hill there. Nice transition up into that really big 0G roll. That was awesome. It feels very cinematic with the audio blaring out as well. Got a nice look at the ground section there, up into that Immelman. Feels very surfy, which I know surf coasters are supposed to be, but the transitions really do mimic that nicely. Got a really nice 0G roll again there, going down into that cool, almost Stengel dive around this big rock structure that you've got going on underneath the lift hill. Love the look of that. Going around into like a, is it Diamondback that does that sort of element? Or is it the one at the Hershey Park? I can't remember. There's a B&M Hypercoaster that does a sort of element like that. It was really nice. Cool swooping airtime hills as well across the water. It's a very pretty ride area, isn't it? It is really like you're surfing around. And I love this part here as well, that little flick just before the corkscrew. It gives me kind of memories of when I was riding Gotham City Escape. That does that same sort of element for a corkscrew. That's really nice there. And then 2 little airtime bumps and we're finished. Awesome ride. I love the whole area around it as well. It really makes the whole experience really great work. Next up we have another B&M surf coaster called Riptide. This one is launched though and has like a really sort of underwater themed area around it, which is really unique. I love all the foliage around it. Again, this creator has asked for this coaster to be shown off at night, but it just looks like really like underwater vibes. I like that spinning statue in the middle that you've got going on there as well. Nice Riptide sign on the front of the station there too. Yeah, and it just feels like really subterranean with all the unique planting going on. It's a really unique atmosphere around it. Got some lovely custom supports there too. Always makes the difference when you add custom supports to your coaster. But yeah, I'm really liking the look of this. It's got a very long, sprawling layout with some unique inversions and elements going on. It sort of has like a very different take on a B&M surf coaster, at least from the only one that exists in real life. But yeah, I'm excited to have a go on this. Let's have a ride. Yeah, this one definitely looks a lot more thrilling than Pipeline, which is nice to see. Launching straight away into a very nicely profiled 0G roll, taking that at a great speed. I bet you get some nice hang time there. Then on into a quite cool and compact turnaround section. Got a nice inversion as you come out of there as well. Cool corkscrew going on. Nice little flick to the right and the left. The S-turns on this are really fun. Little pop of airtime there. Start hopping around all over other pieces of track. Going into our second launch. Nice overbank turn. The custom support in there looks really cool. And you get that lovely 0G roll there. That sort of reminds me of the one on Shockwave at Drayton Manor, or now the Wave. which is a Giovanola stand-up coaster, or Intamin. Nice near misses with those trees there as well. Little airtime pops as we continue around the layout. I like the lights illuminating the custom supports and pieces of track as well, that looks really nice. Nice transition coming out of that inversion too. A couple more little hops and transitions before we go into the brakes. The pacing on this is really nice as well. Obviously you don't want it to be too thrilling because of the seating position on this, well, standing position, but you've done a great job. Yeah, I really like the look of that. Take a quick look at it a day as well. Looks just as good. Really enjoyed that one. Great work. Next up we have another RMC iBox coaster called Robin. This looks awesome. It's like a little bit of a smaller RMC, sort of reminding me of Untamed at Wallaby Holland, and I love all of the interaction that it has with the foliage and greenery and trees around it. Especially with the colour scheme of the track and the supports as well, like it really naturally integrates itself into this little environment that you've created around it, and it just looks really pretty. Got a really nice wooden station build in there as well. I like how the path sort of meanders around this little forest that you've made. Must be getting some really nice views of the coaster as you go around it, and the actual coaster itself looks pretty fun. It's got a pretty unconventional first drop there straight into an airtime hill, which looks really nice, and then you can see the entrance here just going underneath the station. Got the Robin sign. Got some nice views here, most importantly it's very nice and shaded as well. Then up into the station, and here is our train. Let's go and take a ride. Got a nice outer bank to start off with as well, very Hyperia-esque. I like the look of that. And then up into that lift hill. At the top now, get a lovely view over the area as well, just cresting the treetops. And then dropping into that sort of double down airtime bump, which is pretty cool. Absolutely flying around here. Got a bit of an outer bank turn, then down here into an inversion. Love the look of that. Nice profiling. Great ejector airtime hill coming out of that as well, and then into a nice 0G roll underneath the structure. Great head chopper. Got a couple more little airtime bumps and pops. Turning around underneath that rock structure there, which is nice, and then back into the brakes. Yeah, it's a really nice coaster. Nice short layout. Everything's very punchy, and all the elements are really powerful as well on there. Great layout, love the interaction with nature. Good job. Next up we have an Intamin multi-dimensional coaster called Rockfall Rush, but the creator has actually said this more mirrors the design of a Gerstlauer family coaster, which is cool to see. It's got a light mining theme which comes from the Cedar Cove Mining Co, and yeah, it looks really nice. It sort of reminded me of a Mack family coaster, kind of like this section here. It looks kind of very like the Pegasus at Europa Park. I'm really liking the look of that. It's got some very nicely profiled overbank turns that are all like switching over each other and stuff, and some lovely custom supports that come out into the pathway too there, which is really nice. I like how it's like going around different buildings and stuff, and the trees. Got some really nice profiling and like nice S-turns and stuff. Custom support looks pretty cool. That element's nice there. It's sort of like a slightly off-axis trick track going on, and then it dives down here alongside the station and back into the brake run. That's really cool. I like how it launches straight out of the station as well, sort of reminding me of, I can't remember how you say it, but it's almost like Pegasus but at Park Asterix in a way, which is also a Gerstlauer family launch coaster, which looks awesome. Got a bit of a queue structure down here, which is nice, and then up into the station. Let's go for a ride, launching straight out the station there. Got a nice high turn and then diving down really close to the ground, which is nice to see. Got some nice transitions there, almost a little bit cheetah hunty. And then we pop up into our lift hill. There we go, top of the lift hill now. Get a lovely view of all the track around here as well. The green colour of the track itself really nicely blends into the landscaping around it. Pretty fun drop there, nice and steep, transitioning around into that turn. Then turning around the building here almost into a bit of a helix, and then a little pop of airtime as you exit that. The profiling and like angle of some of these turns is really nice. I like that little off-axis like bit there as well, through the support to the lift hill, which is nice, and then diving down and twisting here back into the station. Yeah, that was really nice. It's got some great elements on there. It feels like a really nice and polished family coaster. Good job. Next up, we have a Gerstlauer multi-launch infinity coaster called Rushline, and I absolutely love the look of this. It's a complete mess of track, isn't it? But it's such a visual spectacle seeing it from a distance. It's very much looking like the Smiler has been a huge inspiration for this coaster, which is Like, just a fantastic. I love the way it looks. You can just imagine being stood on the bottom of the pathway there, just looking up at this absolute monster of track. There's just track and supports and trains absolutely everywhere, and it looks crazy. I'm really excited to get on this. I assume it probably will ride a lot like the Smiler, where it's like so confusing most of the time you don't know where you are. It just looks awesome, and I love the kind of lead up to it as well, how you just come through that little bit of the trees there and then you're just met with this complete monstrous mess of track in the best possible way though. Like, I mean that as a compliment because it just looks awesome. Got a nice rush line sign there, like all the arrows lead into the station too. Let's go for a ride on this. It looks really cool. Nice train there as well. Starting off with a really slow inversion over the pathway, that looks really nice. All the custom supporting as well looks fantastic on this. Starting off with our first launch. The colour scheme is very bright and wacky as well, isn't it? It's a very nicely Gerstlauer shaped top hat there, diving down into an awesome airtime hill. It is nice that this doesn't just focus on inversions as well. There is like different elements of airtime and some nice transitions in there too. Cool like dive loop off of the mid-course brake run there. A little booster launch to get it up into that really cool element. Spiralling down that double inversion. I love the custom supports there following the spine of the track. Some really unique elements on this. Into our second main launch here. Technically the third launch. To a huge stalling element there and then rising back up to flatten off. Nice airtime hill into a banana roll. Yeah, there's a great variety of elements on here. Speeding down with some nice transitions up into a block section. And diving down again into a little booster launch. I think that was launch number 4 technically. Into a really strange inversion there, that was cool. Flying round to a very nicely profiled light snapping airtime hill and then a dive loop to finish. That was awesome, so much going on there and a really compact layout too. Yeah, that's been really well designed, so much going on, awesome work. Next up we have a launched B&M surf coaster called Screaminator. Now I like this, quite got actually a similar sort of green track colour scheme, but this one blends into the nature around it so nicely. I love all of the purple supports as well, it's a really nice accent colour and the trees and rock work around this ride is so beautiful. They really just make it like completely nestled into its surroundings and it looks really nice. Got quite a few different elements on here as well with like top hats and fast inversions, quite a few helices as well which is nice. A couple of overbank turns and everything and the interaction threading through the trees and the rock work looks really nice too. This should be fun to ride. I like the entrance as well, just here, Scream right on the side of the building. Then we have our station building here. Let's go for a ride, this looks fun. Just on the launch section here, launching down and then up into an airtime hill, into a really tall overbank turn there, diving back down straight into a mid-course brake run, then into an incline loop, oh, it's more like a helix really, into a really fast 0G roll, sort of heartline roll going over there, up into that big turn, another airtime pop into another mid-course brake run, flying around this layout. This keeps the speed really nicely. Lots of little airtime pops and little transitions which is nice to see. And flying round. One more turn and then into the brake run. Yeah, that was really interesting. Very fast coaster as well with some really unique transitions. Look at it from overhead there. At night too, it's got some really nice night lighting that's really subtle as well. It is really hard to do night lighting that isn't just like really bright and garish, but this really works nicely and it creates a really cool atmosphere around this coaster. Cool work. Next up we have Serpentine, which is a launched B&M surf coaster. This, as the creator said, is heavily inspired by Pipeline at SeaWorld Orlando, and you can really tell. But the main thing that gets me with this, that I've noticed, is the incredible interaction with the plaza and pathway. I like all the changing materials in that as well, and it gets you some really up-close views of the coaster, which are fantastic. And also, it's hard to even tell, like, judging it from a realism standpoint, because it looks so good. The custom supporting just blends in really nicely to making this ride look incredibly realistic. You've done a fantastic job with that. And from what I can see as well, the layout doesn't look too extreme, which is exactly what you want from a surf coaster. You have to think the position that you're, like, I say seated, stood on the train, that is the most thrilling part of that ride. So you do want the actual ride layout of the coaster to be a lot like more tamer than like a B&M Flawless or something. And isn't that a beautiful sign there? I love that. Really giving Celestial Park vibes, and like definitely inspired by Stardust Races. I love the look of that. Got a entrance canopy here as you come into the queue, and then you can see the station building up there at the top. Some nice coverings in the queue, some nice foliage to make it look very pretty and pleasant to be in. You get a good view of that launch section there with like a plant building underneath it as well, which is really nice. Coming up round here under a big canopy structure, so lots of shade into the station. Let's go for a ride. This is looking awesome, launching into a really nice airtime hill there, little Cedar Cove sign at the bottom. Huge overbank turn. The custom supports on that look fantastic as well, like where they're all meeting in the middle. Nice swooping airtime hill there, really cool speed hill. Yeah, this is a very well done surf coaster layout. You definitely studied the way that Pipeline works in its elements, and this is, yeah, really accurate. Great work so far. Beautiful sweeping corkscrew there. The transition into that and out of it was great. Really well done. Zooming around here, nice helix around that tree. All the like really flowy transitions in airtime hills are very well done. Still keeping up a lot of speed for this like late in the ride as well. Got a great little cutback element there, and then a little hop up into the brakes. That was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed that layout. Very carefully considered B&M surf coaster. Great job. Had a really fun time riding that. Lovely inversions, very smooth. Well done. Next up we have Serpent's Curse, an RMC hybrid coaster, and look at this. Got some really unique elements going on here, and I love the colour and like aesthetic of it. It is very looking like a serpent. Definitely direct inspiration from the name that you've chosen there. The track kind of like snakes around really low to the ground, doing some pretty unique elements there as you're about to see that turnaround section at the back. I love this plaza at the front as well. You know I love a good plaza for a coaster. Beware the Serpent's Curse, I like that sign. Got a beautiful maintenance area around here as well, very realistic there. Got a nice little pre-lift section as well before it goes up into the lift hill, which looks really nice. Couple of bits of light theming around, which is obviously exactly what we wanted, so it's stylised and not themed. And you can brave the snake by going down that path, which I assume is the entrance, but I will have a bit of a look down here first. There's some stunning views as the coaster flies by. Look at all them airtime hills at the end. Crazy. Anyway, let's go into the queue. I like how it weaves underneath the coaster as well, which is awesome. You can really get a sense of scale for this attraction. Got a couple of light bits of theming in the queue too, which is good. You can just see the absolutely giant lift hill there, which looks so cool. Very intimidating. I like kind of the like abandoned ruins expedition sort of vibe we've got going on with some parts of the queue. Yeah, this looks really nice. And up into the station. Let's go for a ride. Turn in there, just missing the maintenance shed, which is really cool. I like it when you include a maintenance shed in your coasters. It makes it so much more realistic. Cool little pre-lift section there too. And then we're at the top of the lift hill now. What a view from up here. Really steep drop and then banking down with a cool head chopper at the bottom. Nice outer bank turn, really big element there. Then speeding back down with another great head chopper. Really long side wave turn. And off-axis airtime hill up into the turnaround section, which does do like a downwards barrel roll drop out of that as well. Awesome there. Very similar to Iron Gwazi, that bit. Cool little double pop of airtime there. Really cool inversion, very similar to the Mosasaurus roll through a tunnel, which was awesome. Couple more airtime pops through the structure there. That's really nice. All the head choppers on this ride are great. Really nice slow inversion there through the structure again, and then we're back into the turnaround now, doing that long big spam of airtime hills, very sort of Air Force One at the end. Yeah, that was great. Keeps up the pacing really well, very smooth, really nice variety of elements. Good job. Next up we have Sherpa, if I'm saying that right, which is quite a small RMC iBox coaster. Love the look of this. It's sort of reminding me of a Untamed in a way, but like even more family orientated. Obviously it has quite a few thrilling elements like the inversions, but I really like how small it is. It's sort of giving like the vibe of like a budget park RMC, which is great to see. Obviously we don't really know the budget of Cedar Cove. They could have years of having really big installations and years of having like slightly more budget ones, and this really does fit that budget brief. I love all of the foliage around it as well. It's very nicely integrated into its surroundings, and that track colour is beautiful for an RMC as well. Obviously the wood is a different colour, but it's kind of looking like Hakuge in a way, but a more like ocean looking blue, with it being a bit more like teal coloured, which is really nice. All the flowers around the queue line look beautiful as well. You've got a bit of a moving sculpture there, which is awesome. As you approach the bottom of the lift hill, yeah, I like all the views into the coaster area as well. You get like little sneak previews. Got a nice Corvus logo on the side of the building there. Didn't notice that. That was really nice. And then up into the station itself. Let's go for a ride on this. Just getting over the top of that lift hill now, which is 70 foot tall, the creator mentioned. So quite a small RMC. Got a nice speed hill there into a 0G roll. Very nice profile, and like how it keeps that turning rotation into that overbank turn. Nice airtime hill and up into another turnaround where it inverts again. That inversion was really nicely profiled. Then popping around, another little speed hill. Oh, you get two. Really nice heartline roll there. A few little more bunny hills and speed pops. I like how they're all off axis as well. And then up into the brake run. Yeah, that was an awesome little RMC. I really enjoyed that. It's got some great profiling, very well designed layout. And it does really fit in such a small plot of land as well that any park could have this. And I like all the foliage and flowers around it as well. It's a very pretty coaster. But yeah, that's great. I've never seen such a small RMC work really well before like this. And this is just fantastic. I love all them little speed hills at the end you can watch by the side of the path. Yeah, great work. I really enjoyed that one. Next up we have Psycho Striker, which is a arrow looping coaster, or Vekoma actually, the creator doesn't mention, but what they did mention is that it opened in 1987 with the most inversion record before it was beaten by Guderick's at Park Asterix 2 years later. And you can very much see the Guderick's inspiration, like it's over the water, it's got that butterfly element, you can just see it going through now. And then it goes into like half of a batwing before going into a loop, like a dive loop then into the loop, sorry. Yeah, it's really cool. I love the waterside elements as well, how you can stand really up close to that railing to get some great views into the ride area. And it does feel like a version of a coaster before Guderick's. I know exactly what you mean. It's really interesting what you've done there, but I really do like it. I just love a very classic Arrow or Vekoma looper coaster. Like visually, I think they look really iconic, and yeah, this fits exactly that brief. Got the double corkscrew at the end as well. Very iconic for this type of ride. And yeah, I just love the whole viewpoint over the water there. It looks really beautiful. We'll go down to people view level to have a look on this really circular plaza here to get a great view of these middle of the layout elements of the coaster. I really like the look of that, and look at that sign as well. That's a beautiful sign. I love all the big signs that creators are making in Planet Coaster at the moment. They look awesome, and you can see the coaster going up the lift hill there in the background. We'll make our way up to the station. There's a little food stand there as well, which is nice, and we'll go for a ride. Climbing up that very slow lift hill, very typical of this coaster model. I like how you've done that for the realism. And just coming over the top, you can see on the front of the train there that it does actually say Cedar Cove as well, which is awesome. Turning around here. Wow, look at that view. This is very similar to Guderick's. I love how you've done this. Very straight drop there, straight into that butterfly element. These are very hard to profile. I've tried to do one before, but looks like you've nailed that there. Then down into that awkwardly profiled dive loop. You've matched that perfectly. Very fast going through there into a vertical loop. Yeah, look at that, it's flying around. Overbank turn. Down through all of that overgrown foliage as well. I like how all the foliage is very mature and developed like it would be for a ride of this age. And then into that double corkscrew that takes you into the brakes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's got that very classic feel about it. Awesome work there. It's looking beautiful over the water. Look at those views that you get of the coaster. It's fantastic work. Really enjoyed that one. Great job. And finally, for Showcase 3, the last coaster we are showcasing is Siren's Song, a multi-launch Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. This looks fantastic. First of all, I love the elevation change for the station as well, and having like those retaining walls with the planters in. They look beautiful, and the whole ride area is just stunning nature-wise. I love all the custom supports that you've added as well. The track colour is really unique. It complements the foliage and trees really nicely, and I love how it's like woven around all the trees as well. It almost looks like the trees were there before and you've had to design the coaster around them, which is really nice. Exactly what Cedar Cove would do to protect the existing landscaping. But yeah, there you go. Siren's Song is the name for this coaster. Pretty cool name. Sort of like a different version of Siren's Curse as well. I really like this view as soon as you come through the entrance. Get a great look at the overall layout, seeing the coaster flying around. I'm excited to go on this. Let's have a go. Just pulling out the station here into a little drop before we go into our first launch. I like the little electric boxes you've got on the side of the launch track there. Nice realism. Into a really big Immelman. And Another really big hill moment, but it like really stalls out at the top. That was great. Perfect speed going through there. And whipping around, got some cool airtime hills and turns around the trees. I like how we've just flown past the other train there. You can wave at all the others. Into our second launch now, up into that top hat. Very nice Gerstlauer shaping on there. Custom supports look good as well. Really steep drop too. And into that really big outwards bank turn. Nice 0G roll coming off of that. Transitioning nicely into that very low to the ground turn. With a little airtime hump in the middle, that was cool. An overbank turn, turning around to get us back towards the station. Little speed hill, off axis hill. Very smooth this coaster, isn't it? And then back into the brake run. Yeah, that was awesome. Very beautifully presented, very smooth coaster, got lots of nice elements on there, and I love how it's really nicely integrated into all that landscaping. Good job. And that does it for Showcase 3. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the fourth and final showcase of the Cedar Cove Coaster Competition, where afterwards the voting form will open and you can vote for your favourites. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.